Hey guys, it's Emily and welcome to this mini contemporary-a-thon vlog. So Chelsea, Julie, and Natasha have decided to host a random mini round of the contemporary-a-thon starting today on the 22nd of May, which is a Friday, until a Monday, May 25th, I believe. I am super excited for this new round because I love the contemporary-a-thon. It is one of my favorite readathons, but also because I have been on the contemporary kick lately, so I'm very excited to be reading more of that genre. So now let's dive into my TBR. So there are 3 challenges in this round, and the first one is to read a book that has a peach cover. For that, I chose In a Perfect World by Trish Dollar. I was initially going to read this for the Books Around the World series, which I am so happy that I can finally talk about it with you guys, because by the time you watch this video, the first episode in that series is now out, so you can check that out up above. I will link it in the cards if you want to check the first episode. I'm very excited. Anyway, I was supposed to read this for that, but I don't have a lot of books that are set in Africa, and so I'm just going to read it for fun instead. So in this book, we're following our main character, Caroline, and she has made great plans with her best friends to spend her summer working in an amusement park in Ohio. However, her mother is hired to open an eye clinic in Cairo in Egypt, and so she has to move abroad for the summer and also for her senior year. I'm very excited to be reading about this because I don't read a lot of books that are set in Egypt, so I'm excited to be diving into this. And as you can tell, it has a little bit of peach right there on the cover, and the spine is like orange peach, so I'm counting it for this challenge. Challenge number 2 is to read a book that has less than 250 pages, and for that I chose Kindred Spirits by Rainbow Rowell. This is a short story that Rainbow Rowell has written like a while ago. I don't remember exactly when it was released, but I remember that I was very excited to read it. Never got around to it, but I don't know too much about the plot of this. I only know that it has 96 pages, which is perfect for this challenge, but I think it's about these 2 people, like these 2 teenagers who are waiting in line for like the next Star Wars movie or something like that. I typically really like what Rainbow Rowell writes, so I'm excited to try this one out. The final challenge is to read a book that you think will be fun, and for that I had initially picked Get Alive, Danny Brown by Talia Hibbert. I'm very excited. I have an arc of this and I loved the first book, so this is a sequel to Get Alive, Chloe Brown, and I really enjoyed that book. I read it during the Owls and I just really fell in love with it. It is a romance book and I just loved it. So I'm excited that I got approved for an arc of this. The book comes out on June 23rd, and I don't know too much about the plot of this one, but I loved Danny in the first book, so I'm excited to see a story where she'll be the main character. I think it features some kind of like fake dating and maybe like a viral picture or something like that. Not too sure, but this is a book that I had initially picked. However, I do have another arc, and that book comes out on May 26th, so on Tuesday, so I should really prioritize this one instead, and that book is Something to Talk About by Meryl Wilsner. I know next to nothing about this book. I think it's about 2 women who are seen on the red carpet in kind of like the pose that you see on the cover, and people start like, I guess, making assumptions about them, and like just rumors are starting and they just kind of go viral. I know literally next to nothing about this book, but I'm still excited to read it. I just was hoping I would read it before this weekend because I was hoping to read it before publication date, and so I really am hoping to read this weekend. It's probably going to be a priority of mine simply because I need to get to it, and I'm also really happy because this is a female romance, I believe, so excited about that. I will try to read both, but let's be honest, my TBR is long enough, and I am working today on Friday and also on Monday because here in Canada we don't have a 3-day weekend. It was last weekend. Now anyway, it's 8:25. I start working in 5 minutes, so I probably won't be able to get much reading done today. It'll go probably to tonight or during my breaks. Okay, so it's now like 12 hours later. Workday's over. I've helped my mom prepare dinner. I've gone on a walk with my mom and my dog. I have taken a shower and I'm basically ready for bed. So now it's reading time. I am going to be starting Something to Talk About by Meryl Wilsner. I feel like it's time for me to start one of my digital arcs, and since it's the one that comes out first, I'm going to prioritize this one. Hello everyone, good morning. Today is Saturday. I have an update for you guys. So I have decided to DNF Something to Talk About by Meryl Wilsner. So I started reading it last night. I read like 50 pages before I fell asleep. I was really tired for some reason. And then I continued reading it this morning and I actually made it like halfway through before I decided that I was going to DNF it. I just did not enjoy this book, you guys. I feel like the pacing was really off. Nothing really was happening and I had read more than half the book before I decided to DNF it. I think I made it like to the 54% mark or something like that, and still nothing was really happening. I feel like we only got to see the main characters like day to day, but there wasn't really a conflict or anything going on, and I just didn't see where the book was going. And like the one conflict that the book had was really dumb, and I couldn't believe that we spent maybe 50 pages over that, and I was like, what the hell is this? It was just so stupid. I didn't get it, but I also didn't really feel anything for the characters. I'm sad because this is a sapphic romance. It is Berkeley's first published sapphic romance and I really wanted to love it, but the characters were kind of bland and I feel like they had nice chemistry in terms of like friendship, but there was no tension. I just didn't see how this could become a romance, and I know it's slow burn and everything, but I just didn't see anything that made me feel like it could be more than a friendship, and that's unfortunate. I also didn't feel like we really got to know the characters, so I didn't really connect with any of them. Overall, it just wasn't for me, which is really sad because I wanted to love this, but rather than trying to finish a book that I'm not enjoying, I decided to DNF it. I feel bad because it is a book that I requested, so an arc that I got because I requested it, and I ended up like DNFing it, but I just wasn't enjoying it. So I have decided that my next read is going to be In a Perfect World by Trish Dollar. I'm very excited for this one. It's a YA contemporary. I feel like it's something that I will really enjoy, and hopefully I will not be wrong about this one. And it's set in Egypt, so that's exciting. So it is now much later in the day. It's like 7:30, maybe even past that. I just came back from my walk with my mom and my dog, which is why I look a little bit sweaty. I have made some progress with In a Perfect World. I didn't read this all afternoon. Kind of fell into a TikTok vortex for a little while, and I also went to the drugstore to refill a prescription, so I wasn't able to make that much progress with it, but I still managed to read 100 pages. I read 106 pages of this, and so far it's good. I'm enjoying it. I really like the setting. There are a couple of things that the main character has said about like Muslims and the culture that I'm just like not super happy about. However, she's very open-minded and she's willing to try new things, and like she is willing to learn. So far I'm enjoying it. I really like this and I'm excited to see where it goes. I feel like it has been very interesting to read about this new culture because I've never read a book that was set in Egypt, I believe. I think this is the first book that I've read that is set in Cairo, so I think that's super interesting. Happy Sunday. So I feel like I look like a mess this morning, but that's because I washed my hair and now it's hair drying, so it looks kind of crappy, but whatever. I didn't read that much since I have last updated you guys. I think I read maybe like 2 chapters this morning of In a Perfect World. I'm on page 212 and I have about 80 pages left to read, so I'm definitely going to be able to finish this today. But just because I didn't get to read a lot this morning doesn't mean that I didn't have a productive morning. It's like 11:30 right now, but I still feel like I was very productive this morning. Like I took a shower, I washed my bed sheets, I cleaned up my room, and I just feel like more put together and ready to start the week. Right now though, I am doing YouTube stuff. So this morning I uploaded a new video, my Books Around the World series, which I'm so excited about. So I've been promoting it across different platforms. I'm writing my reviews on Goodreads for the books that I've read for that video because I didn't include a review when I first mark them as read on Goodreads because I didn't want to spoil the video. So right now I'm doing that, and I think after that, when I'm done, I'm going to go back to reading. I think I'm going to be able to finish this like early on this afternoon, and then after that we can start reading Take a Hint, Dani Brown, and I'm very excited. I'm in a mood to read like a smutty, cheesy rom-com, so this is going to be perfect. All right, so it is now 1:30 p.m. and I just finished reading In a Perfect World by Trish Dollar. I did enjoy it. I thought it was really sweet. I really liked the ending, and overall I did enjoy it. However, I know that it's a bit problematic sometimes. I think I've mentioned it before, but the book tackles some political aspects like ISIS and Muslims and Islam and just like the Egyptian culture as a whole. Like, it tackles a bunch of topics that are kind of political, and sometimes I feel like the author overgeneralized some aspects of it, and I'm glad that it opens up a discussion about all of this. However, I feel like it wasn't necessarily done in the best of ways, and it could have been handled a lot better. It's probably because it's written by an American author, so the views that the author shares are Americanized. So I'm kind of conflicted, but I think I'm going to give this a 3 stars because I did enjoy it, but I know it's problematic. I feel like if you're going to do this, like include politics and everything, maybe make sure that you know what you're talking about. But other than that, it was a fun read and I did enjoy it. Now, that means that we are going to start reading our next book. And for me, that will be Take a Hint, Dani Brown by Talia Hibbert, which I am so excited to be reading because I need a cute rom-com. I'm gonna go get my iPad and I think I'm gonna go read outside. Now, I don't know if the situation will be ideal with an iPad, like reading outside can be tricky, but I'll try to find a spot where I can read and just bask in the sun. Just got my chair out and I found the one spot on my porch that has shade. I have to find a spot that has like a little bit of shade because otherwise it makes it difficult for me to read on my iPad, and I'm also not a big fan of like being out in the sun completely. I just get super sweaty. Okay, so it is now like 9:30 p.m. It's quite late in the day, and I just wanted to update you guys. I have started reading Take a Hint, Dani Brown, and so far I'm absolutely loving it. I love our 2 main protagonists, and I don't know if I actually gave you like a synopsis for this book, but basically we have our 2 main characters, Dani and Zafir, and one day Zafir kind of rescues Dani from like a situation, and their rescue moment kind of goes viral. Zafir is this retired rugby player, and it kind of comes back to life when this video goes viral. And because Zafir has a charity that he runs and it hasn't been really successful, but because of the video that goes viral, his business kind of flourishes. So he asks Dani to like pretend to date him, and so far I am really enjoying it. Like I said, I really like our 2 main protagonists. They have a lot of chemistry and I just really like them together. I think I like it even more than Get Alive Chloe Brown. Like with this one I was sucked in instantly, and I don't know if it's because of like the characters or if it's just like I knew what I was getting myself into. I don't know. I'm just really loving it. I can see this becoming a 5-star read for me. Overall, like, it's so good, super addictive. It's also really lighthearted and funny, and I like that about it. I've laughed out loud several times while reading it, and I just think it's been a great experience so far. Hello, today is Monday, and I'll be honest, I didn't get a lot of reading done today. I just finished my workday. Actually, that's a lie. It's like 8:30 p.m. so I finished a while ago, but I still need to finish reading Take a Hint, Dani Brown. I have been not feeling great today, I'll be completely honest. I was feeling like bloated and I just had like this stomach ache that wouldn't go away, and so I wasn't really in the mood to read or just like do anything hard. So I just ended up like watching Modern Family after work instead, and it's been great, and now I feel better. So I think I'm gonna try to finish Take a Hint, Dani Brown. I don't have that much left to read. Like I think I have like maybe 100 pages left to read, maybe a little bit more than that. About 70 to 80 pages. So I think it's doable if I go take my shower and like get ready for bed and I just like read for the rest of the night. I think I can finish reading it before my bedtime, which is what we're gonna hope for. I'm still very much enjoying it. Hey guys, so it is now a couple of days later and I realized that I never wrapped up this vlog, so this is what I'm doing. To be honest, I wasn't feeling great for most of the week, so I didn't really feel like picking up the camera, but now I'm feeling better and I thought I would finally wrap things up for you guys. So I did finish reading Take a Hint, Dani Brown on Monday and it was really good. I gave it a 4.5 out of 5 stars. The reason why it's not getting a full 5 out of 5 is because towards the end, the author added an unnecessary conflict. Like I felt like it was unnecessary and kind of rushed, and it just, I don't know, it didn't really flow as well as the rest of the story, which is why I'm giving it a 4.5. But I did really enjoy it, and if you guys haven't checked out this series yet, I highly recommend it. Take a Hint, Dani Brown comes out on June 23rd, so if you guys want to pre-order it or buy it when it comes out, I highly recommend it. It was so freaking good. So that means that during this readathon, I read a grand total of 2 books, well, 2.5 if you count Something to Talk About, and I have completed 2 challenges. I'm really happy with what I read during the weekend. Like, it was a rocky start, but I feel like I did manage to read quite a bit. I know I'm really happy that I read contemporary, so thank you so much to Chelsea, Julie, and Natasha for hosting this readathon. I'm super excited for the next round, which I think is in September, unless I decide to host another like mini round like this one. And I guess that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, make sure to give this a thumbs up. That really helps out my channel. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!